The language, last year when you did Shakespeare, he gave you words and words and words and words to have that response in, right? You had pages and pages of words, and it was dense with text to have these responses. This year with this play, you have 2 and 3 words sometimes. You've got to pack those 2 and 3 words with as much punch as a soliloquy sometimes. Does that make sense? That's kind of the cool thing about what Churchill has done here, is she has cut it down to the bare bones. This is the least we need to tell this story. But that means you as the actor are then responsible of filling the least with the most.
Dude, okay. Guys, set up the opening. The candles, Joe's standing in the center.
Yes! Yes!
Really quick, just set up the candles in a circle.
Yes.
Strike the table. There you go.
All right, so Joe's on center, so Luca, put your candle down, and you're waiting for this goddess to appear, for God, the face of God, to be apparent. So what I want to do is, for this shot, I want it to be that the candle's down, the music's playing, and one of you, probably Luca, because he's up center, is going to cue this, so we're going to keep an eye on Luca as we're doing this. We all slowly start. 1, 2, 3. So I chose A Dream Play for a lot of reasons. It's a play about a young woman named Agnes. She's the daughter of the god Indra, and she comes to Earth to experience what life is like on Earth for human beings, to see what it's like for the people that are earthbound. And what she discovers when she gets here is that it's a lot of hardship and suffering. And she really struggles to make heads or tails of it and to live this human life. It really starts to tear at her and destroy her, and so ultimately it kills her. The other reason I chose the play is because there are 63 characters and there are 13 actors in the play. So for several of the students in the play, they'll have the opportunity to play multiple characters. 4 of the actors are going to be playing just one role. The actress who plays Agnes, the solicitor, the writer, and the officer. However, all the rest of the actors, so the other 9 actors, will all be playing multiple roles. They all play 3, 4, some of them even 5 roles.
Go. Everybody go. You have plenty of time, Kate.
This gives them an opportunity to try different things as actors, to physicalize characters in different ways, to change the voice of a character, to play with suddenly having a different intention and a different action when they're acting. So as you're watching the play, something to watch for is how each actor handles the different characters. How clear do they? One of the things we do with the play is that the actors never leave the stage. So they are sitting on the sides, and you can see them the whole time you're watching the play. So they're sitting on the sides, and then they become the character that they're going to be. And that might be just putting on a jacket or a scarf or a hat or changing the way they walk or they stand. They come on stage, they do the scene, and then they step back off into that neutral area.
Is that the same star blanket you're still making?
26 years isn't long.
And you never came back?
It wasn't his fault.
So Agnes comes to Earth. She descends to Earth, and her story is told. There's 11 scenes in the play. And in each scene, she's in a different place and kind of confronts a different part of life. And in the first scene, she meets an officer who she rescues from the enslavement that he's in, which is to have to relive mistakes he made in his past. And she frees him from that, thinking that that will end his suffering. And it doesn't. He still suffers. He's still unhappy. So a big thing to look for as you watch the play is, why are some of these characters so unhappy? What is it that makes them so unhappy? Do they choose to be unhappy? Do their circumstances make them unhappy? And then the other thing to look for is, Could they change that unhappiness? Could they be happy if things were a little different? Or could they be happy if they made different choices? Because theater is a really powerful place for a lot of reasons. But one of them is its ability to transform both a space and a person simply through our imagination.
This is the place we meant to come to. Every day's a holiday, and parties start in the morning.
What's really important about theater is it's a mirror, right? It looks at you and it says,
They're the help.
how do you feel about suffering? How do you feel about what these people are experiencing? How do you feel about where they are, and how does that make you feel? So it's really important that the audience is constantly asking questions.
Ooh, by fire. Ooh, by water. Ooh, in the sunshine. Ooh, in the nighttime. Ooh, by high ordeal. Ooh, by common trial. Ooh, in your very, very month of May. Ooh, by very slow decay. And ooh,